it doesn't always have to be about what you do or growing your business, right? You're really just wanting to create that connection, that bond with your audience.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. And I love having, hit reply to this email as a call to action. If you've got the time to, you want to actually respond when people reply to you, but that's great. I mean, it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't even have to be business related. It can be some small thing.
Right. Love that. Okay. So I'm getting, Angie saying, is the video freezing for others? I'm not getting any indication that the video is freezing. I don't know if it's on our end. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hope not. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that. A lot of times it could even potentially be your own Wi-Fi. So, all right. So let's keep going here. This is such a great conversation. So let's see here. So do you have any tips on how to write emails that actually get opened and read? Because that's one of the most frustrating things, right?
Yeah.
Is you spend all this time and energy and effort, and then it's like, oh my God, you look at that open rate, and sometimes that can be a little frustrating. So how do we combat that?
Yeah, no, let's talk about that because that is really important.
Yeah.
Let's just I'm just going to talk through a good email and we'll just kind of go right down a little bit with some tips. So obviously, like you're talking about, to get a good open rate, you've got to have a good subject line. Because you can write the best email in the world, but if nobody opens it, it doesn't matter. So your subject line, you don't want to do like clickbait, right? Because we've all seen that. I actually, as a copywriter, I really enjoy reading clickbait headlines. So I scroll down to the bottom of the weather app and read all the horrible clickbait headlines. They're interesting.
Just to find out what not to do, right?
Exactly. There was one, and I just have to share this really quick, totally not related to what we're talking about, but I saw an ad and it was for eye gouging wedding dresses. I'm like, you mean eye popping? But it literally was like, click here to see eye gouging wedding dresses. I was like, oh dear.
Okay. Was that maybe lost in translation? Maybe
that's what I'm guessing. Maybe that went through Google Translate a couple times. But
my gosh,
it was
hilarious.
Funny. So anyway, but yeah, so make your subject line something that is intriguing. I recommend against like telling exactly what the topic is most of the time.
Yeah.
And you want to make your subject line read like something from a friend. So don't like capitalize every word like you would in a title, because that makes it look businessy. So you can do weird punctuation stuff. You don't even have to capitalize the first letter if you don't want to. Like you make it look like it's something that's more informal and people are more likely to click on it. And put some intrigue in there. If you're including a video or something in your email, put plus video because people want to see it.
Okay.
So whatever is in your email that seems the most intriguing or thought-provoking, that's what I like to put in the subject line. Then the email itself, again, let your personality come out. Personalize it. Most email, MailChimp and ConvertKit and all of those, you can personalize it with their name. So make sure you personalize it. I like to do that in the subject line too sometimes. And then the email itself, make sure it's not a big block of text. It doesn't have to be a super designed out thing, but make sure that you've got short paragraphs, you've got some bullet points. And I like to use emojis or, bold some text so that if somebody clicks on it, they can just skim it if they want to. Make sure a good format for an email is to have a story and then a segue into whatever your point is. If you're in the process of selling something, if you are, tying it back to something that you do in your practice. And then it's kind of fun to be creative with the sign off, right? Instead of just signing your name, put something, your nutrition, whatever. I don't know. Nothing's coming to mind right now, but have a creative sign off. And then the most important part of the email is the PS. Because think about your own email reading habits, right? Sometimes you're going to click on an email. And if you're like me, sometimes I don't have time. So I just skim to the bottom to see if I can get to the point. So definitely at least one PS. summarizing what the email was about. Sometimes I'll even call people out in it and be like, did you skip all the way to the PS? No worries.
Yeah.
Here's, and then a little sentence talking about what the email was about with whatever the link for the call to action is. You can also put your call to action in the PS, but a lot of people will go straight to the PS. So don't skip that. It's super important. And then of course, like we were talking about before, have a call to action. Something, somebody telling you should go to the Grand Canyon is great. Or, have you just even your social media links so they can come follow you, encourage them to, start a chat in the DMs if that's something you're into, or even link them back to a blog post that you've done before, just something where they know they have some sort of action to take. It doesn't have to be major though.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. I recently started adding emojis to my subject lines. Who would have thought, right?
Yeah.
Who would think that would make a difference, but it really does. Yeah. So, I mean, subject lines alone are, and I would say it's an art and a science.
For sure.
And what do you think of the apps out there? This is kind of off the cuff question, but there's apps. And for a while I was kind of running all of my subject lines through, oh gosh, I can't think of it offhand, but like, it would give my subject line a score.
Right.
Do you think those are valid?
I do. Some of them are. I do that honestly when I write articles. I have a headline analyzer that I use, and I think there is some validity to that. But the person who's clicking on, opening up their email and seeing your subject line, they don't know that it's scored a 76, right? Right. They just, it needs to be something that they're interested in, because you could write a great subject line, but if it's not a topic that they're interested in, then they're not going to click on it. So I think finding a balance with that, I think it's a great, any tools that you can find that can help you learn are fantastic, but I wouldn't totally rely on that.
Right. Of course. Right. It just can kind of help you maybe to think of things that perhaps you didn't think of before.
Right.
So as we start to, boy, this time has gone by so fast. I think we could talk a lot about this topic.
I think Kathy? So, yeah, for sure.
It's definitely one of my passions. So as we start to wrap up our conversation today, can you share maybe a piece of advice that you wish everyone would take?
Yeah. Honestly, I've been talking about it the whole time, probably too, because I can't ever just decide on one thing. Make sure your client feels seen and be consistent. And okay, 3.
Those are good.
3.
Yep, we'll take 3.
Make sure you're talking about the transformation you provide, right? Over your credentials. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but make sure you're talking about that transformation and making it about the person who's reading it.
So important.
Yeah.
We are so hung up, shall we say, on our credentials, but the people, your ideal clients, your target audience, they care. Of course, they want to know that you're the real deal, right? But it's mostly what's in it for me.
For sure.
Right? So super, super great advice. So let's talk a little bit about what some next steps are for our audience. So, how can people find you? I think you also said before we click the go live button that you've got a special downloadable tool for the audience today. So tell us about that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you can find me at kathykigeragency.com, and I do custom copy for nutritionists, dietitians, holistic health practitioners, and coaches. So one of my favorite things to do, and what I do probably most of, is helping people get their email funnel created. That big, it's sitting on your to-do list forever and it nags at you. I know how that is, but I can help just get that checked off your list. And then I also write ongoing newsletters and help with launches as well. So I think, Leslie, you have a link to
let's see
somewhere. I think, because honestly, this is kind of a special thing for y'all. I don't have it just up on my website, but I created just a little, it's a cheat sheet and checklist. right?
Okay.
About how to make your copy geared toward your ideal client. It's got some tips on how to do that, things to think about. And then I have a whole checklist for you to use. If you write your own copy, run it through this checklist and just make sure that it hits all these buttons, and to help make sure that your clients, your prospective clients, are seeing themselves in your copy, not just you.
Okay, let's see. I'm looking for do I have the link?
Yeah, I think
let's see. I have the link to your website.
Yeah,
you know what, guys? We might have to get back with you all on the link because I'm not seeing, wait, no, Kathy Kiger agency.com/reach your ideal clients.
the one.
That's it. All right. Yay. We found it, guys.
Yes. And I'm also, I do have some space right now for some new one-on-one clients. So if that is something you're interested in, I'm filling up fast, but I do have a little bit of room right now. So you can book a consultation. I do a free consultation where we can talk through what your goals are and find out if copywriting is a good fit for you. There's a calendar on my website where you can schedule an appointment. And I think I put a link also on that page as well. So
perfect.
If you want to talk, you can schedule a time.
So guys, I posted the link. It's kathykiger.agency.com// reach your ideal client. So go ahead and grab that, that free tool. And then as we start to wrap up, we had a question from Angie. Do you have any advice on how to prevent emails from going into the junk folders? Oh my God.
That's the dreaded
it's so
thing.
Frustrating.
It is the dreaded thing. Yes. And I mean, there are definitely things you can do. The biggest advice I can give you is don't use just a free Gmail account to send them.
Yeah.
If you have a G Suite, like my email is Kathy@KathyKigerAgency.com.
Yeah.
And so that just gets a little bit more attention because if you're sending from a free Gmail account, it can it's more likely to end up going to spam.
Okay.
Also, statistically, from what I've read and seen, plain text newsletters actually do better than a super designed out newsletter. So if you're having trouble with your emails going to spam, try just sending some plain text emails rather than including a bunch. Like if you have a big heading and all the things in there, that can make a difference as well.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. Like a header, photos, because you wouldn't send that kind of an email to a friend, right? I would say that definitely is worth trying. And just, try to keep an eye. I mean, I think the moral to the story is to test different strategies and see what gets you the best results. All right, so guys, again, I have the link or the URL for Kathy's free tool. So make sure you grab it and really take her up on that offer. Schedule a call and see how she can help. So one of the things I had Kathy do for me and my clients is to write. Remember when we did that project, Kathy? It was so fun.
That was fun.
We picked 4 niches, 4 very kind of pretty common niches in terms of my client niches. And I had Kathy create sample opt-ins, right? Like a sample lead magnet, and then nurture the confirmation email, and then the follow-up nurture email sequence. And we did that for 4 different niches. So, and they're really, really solid emails, really good, super powerful. So bottom line is take her up on that offer, at least schedule a call to see how she can help, because good copy makes all the difference in the world, right? So right? You were going to say something about that?
Honestly, it brings me so much joy to be able to take that off of people's plates. Because I don't know, especially people, if it's just not your thing, or if you just don't want to take the time to do it. it's so nice to just be able to check that off and have it done. And it just shows up on a schedule. And then there it is, ready to go.
Awesome, Eileen. Yay. Oh, good.
Awesome. We'll talk soon, Eileen. Great.
Yeah. Eileen has a book launch coming up. So,
congratulations. That's exciting.
Yeah, super excited. Eileen has some amazing things cooking. So good. I'm so happy that the two of you are going to connect.
Nice.
All right, guys. We are going to wrap up. So thank you again, Kathy. This was so much fun. I'm not at all surprised. We got to do it again soon. Yeah, good. Yeah, getting some nice comments. Thank you, Eileen. Guys, have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful weekend, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place. All right, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye.